Card Consciousness. Just happy to be joined by my friend and brother Greg Smith today up at the Panhandle, and we also have a special guest. I will let Greg introduce him after he says hello.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? How's everybody doing? Our guest this week is Chris Frank, and he's going to come on and tell us some things about when he had a card shop, or his dad had a card shop growing up, and going to rip some packs for us today. So that should be very interesting. How you doing today, Chris?
Doing well, guys. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate being here.
Absolutely. We'll get into your story here shortly.
Right.
We'll lead off with cards of the week, and Mark, you can go ahead. You go ahead and start that, man. That's usually your thing to start. So,
all right, I'll lead with the cards of the week. Be quick. Actually, so we all know how I love my nonsensical autograph cards of who knows, who they were, but we got a Jose Canseco this week. So
all right,
got a nice Jose Canseco. I love that. Not a big fan of the Roy boys, but maybe he'll help the little lightweight auto guys I got in my PC start hitting home runs in that box. And this one I got in the box of tonnage. It's a Griffey Jr. Look at it, does stuff with Hank Aaron. It's a Topps Gold label. That's pretty wild. I thought that was pretty neat. With my nonsensical autographs, who's this guy? Jerry Tillery. Jerry Tillery from Notre Dame. I'm a big Notre Dame guy. So I picked that up for like 50 cents. Okay. Jerry Tillery. So if you played for Notre Dame and you're not a Buffalo Bill, if I can get a Notre Dame card of you, it's okay. I tolerate that. Otherwise, stay out of my PC. Then I got the Todd Jones auto that I went back for in that one.
Oh yeah, you told me about that one.
Yeah,
being never signs. He's a recluse.
Yeah, he never signs anymore. In honor of Chris being on the show, I got a hockey card, Tage Thompson, OPG Chrome rookie. He plays for the Sabres, so he blew up this year, scored almost 50 goals. I know you could care less, Greg, but there you go, Chris. That's a nice card, right, Chris?
That's a nice card.
And another quickly, got a Yoda. I got a Yoda. And then lastly, our soccer team, UDFC, is coming off the shelf this year. We didn't play this summer. And these are two of my favorite cards of all time. Autographed Harley Ford, the wall, my daughter, and my other daughter, Dane Ford, the baby horse. So that is with Unity FC, and these are my two most precious autograph cards that I have, and those are my daughters. So
I was going to say those look pretty good, like pretty good autographs.
They have I taught them that you sign it like you mean it, and so that's Harley and Dane again, and I'm really happy that Unity's coming back. We're going to be building up to playing in Major Arena Soccer League Women's Division in 2024. So that's been really awesome.
That's outstanding, man. That's outstanding, and I love those autographs. That's great. Squincher,
yeah, put the camera down. Yeah, see, there's got my uniform on, Unity FC jersey in honor of that. So he can. Why don't you go ahead with your cards of the week, Greg?
All right, yeah, my cards of the week. I got a couple of guys that sent me some stuff. Always appreciated. I don't, I have that inner struggle with, hey, you want these? I'll just send them to you. And I don't know. But anyway, here they are. So Breck Allman sent me the 2021 Archives, Carl Yastrzemski. Pretty cool. I mean, it's not the card itself, it's just the thought. So I really appreciate it, Breck. And then he sent me this 2023. It's like the style of the 69 stamps, I believe. And it's got Yaz and Fisk, and then Rafael Devers and Jeter Downs, who no longer plays for the Red Sox. He got traded to Washington. And then I had this one for a little while, but this is one of my favorite cards. I was going through Larry Zonka. I remember him being a stud when I was a little kid. And I think he broke his nose about 9 times, Larry Zonka. So, hey, buddy.
Yeah, how about that? Look at you. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, here we go. Everybody, this is Lady Bean Bean. So what a day today. We have just got all kinds of stuff going on the show. So Lady Bean Bean is putting an appearance on the show.
Nice.
All right,
yes, star, Lady Bean Bean.
Stream of Card Consciousness. So that's another one of our dogs. She wanted to come up. So go ahead, Greg. Carry on.
All right. No, it's okay. And the last one, Jay Jaworski. I put up a post on the Vintage Fire Sales page last week about trying to do SGC gas run, and I really am trying to be very specific in my post that of what I'm looking for, and it never seems to register. So I mean, I'll
Sorry.
go. Look, I'm looking for SGC new slab only. Here's the years I need, and I appreciate people reaching out, but at the same time, I'm not looking for PSA. I'm not looking for raw. I'm looking for SGC new slab. Carl Yastrzemski. That's what I want. And the only person that even responded with an SGC Carl Yastrzemski was Jay Jaworski, and he got me this one I needed, really cheap. And I really appreciate the deal, Jay. And I just wanted to give you a shout out for actually reading the post and giving me, or not giving me, but selling me a card that I needed at a decent price. So those are my cards of the week. So that's what I've got. So Chris, I'm interested to see what you got, sir. I want to see what kind of cards you're looking at. So let's let you talk a little bit since you're our guest and see what's going on. Okay.
Appreciate it. So I haven't been buying a whole lot lately. I do have most recent eBay purchase. It's an 84 Fleer Don Mattingly PSA 8. Where's the camera?
Nice.
There it is. I mean, it's not the Donruss, but I actually like it better. So, and then I've got a 73 Topps Roberto Clemente card, PSA 5.
Right.
So, yeah, when I was a kid, my dad actually had 2 sheets of 73 Topps that were uncut. And this was one of the cards that was on those sheets. So I had to have one nowadays for the memories.
Sure. Absolutely.
And then,
go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. Go right ahead.
No, just that card. That card is so haunting to me because it's his last card, and just the picture in there. It's just a silhouette almost, and I've always, Mark. I know you have your own feelings about Roberto, and that's fine. And
they're changing though. They're changing.
Are they?
They're
Okay,
changing
good.
because I might have been drinking too much of the Frank Thomas Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? So the sausage, right? It's on the sauce on Frank's sausage. So
right.
Yeah, about Roberto. But Roberto's a great, Frank's no longer with us, so I can, maybe I can change my tune.
Yeah. But yeah, just getting back to well, and that's nice to hear. I don't know Roberto, obviously. I don't know how he was, but I've heard more good than bad, I guess is the best way I can say. So anyway, great card, Chris. And go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're fine. I've got one more, and this is kind of maybe more Mark's alley. It's an autograph. I don't normally do autograph cards, but I live just outside of Baltimore, so lifelong Orioles fan. This came up on one of the Facebook pages for $10, and I had to have it. That is a 1981 Donruss Earl Weaver autograph.
Oh yeah,
no, that's beautiful.
And for $10, nobody else was getting it. So that was a must-have. That is a PC forever card.
Outstanding.
Well, Mark, that's with the autographs, that's got to be really good, really awesome for an Orioles fan. And man, you must be over the moon right now with them being up 2 games on the Rays.
It's ecstatic.
Where did that come from? You know what I mean?
It's a good pipeline they got through that farm system, and they keep that going. It's several years, and just as happy to be in first place, and just as happy to see the Yankees in last place.
Absolutely, me too.
That's where they belong. They belong in last place for the rest of their lives. Sick of the Yankees.
Yeah,
I agree. Me and Greg are Red Sox guys, but I'm really happy that Baltimore's doing well because it's another thing that's good for the game and one of the more traditional franchises of excellence. I mean, they're not an original team of MLB, but they've had a tradition of excellence that has gone away the last 15 years probably. So it's good to see them back. It's good. And they got great uniforms. So
yeah, they really do. And I agree with you, Mark. The Yankees, Red Sox. I'm a as big a Red Sox fan as you'll find, and I just after a while that whole Yankees Red Sox thing got kind of nauseating to me, really. And I'm a Red Sox fan, so I get it. So it's nice to see, like you said, Mark. It's nice to see some new blood, some new old blood in the race for for the pennant there with the AL East. You know, you got the Blue Jays, you got the Rays. I mean, the Rays are always good, it seems like, but it's nice to see the Orioles with that farm system. So, and that kind of leads me to, you know, Marcus told me, Chris, that your dad had a card shop, or you had a card shop, or what? Let's hear let's hear your story, man. What's your story about with collecting and with your life in general with the card hobby?
So sports cards were the first thing that I collected. And then family got us into comic books as well. And then back in '93, my dad or my parents opened a sports card and comic book shop. Lasted the sports card lasted until the strike, and between that and I think it was Upper Deck that went with the East and West Central boxes, and you had to buy. The distribution was a pain. He bailed on sports cards completely, and we just went straight comic books. The shop is still in business today.
Nice.
And it's no longer in the family. He sold the shop and retired. But that put me down the avenue of collecting comic books for a long time. Back until May of last year, I got back into sports cards. So it's been a whirlwind trying to catch up, and because I had no connections to it. And I don't do anything newer than '93, or I try not to. And it was interesting because being in the comic book Facebook groups, some people were, I guess, in some of the sports cards, and they talked about how nasty the sports card people were in the comment section. Well, I made the switch over, and I don't think it'd be farther from the truth. Some of those comic book people are ruthless, but it's if you're new to collecting comics and you join one of those Facebook groups, they will tear you a new one. But I feel like it's maybe just the groups I joined for sports cards has been more of a pleasant transition. But I mean, yeah, I feel like they just kind of went off, the deep end, thinking that sports cards people were nasty.
Yeah, it's I haven't dabbled, Mark. That's probably maybe more your jurisdiction with the comics. So
what comics?
Yeah, what do you have to say about that, man?
No, I think what Chris is getting at is I've been into comics. And the change in the mindset in that hobby is probably similar to the mindset of the way the world is going, and that cynicism. If you look at the comics that come out now, they're trying to be edgy, and there's a lot of sarcasm and snarkiness within the books, and then that kind of translates into that hobby. And it exists in sports cards as well too. But I could say, as far as for Chris, we move a lot of baseball cards, and he's one of my favorite buyers, not just because he gets a ton of cards from me, but I honestly have a good relationship with him, and he's emblematic of, to me, how the hobby should be and what we're trying to build to, and what we talk about on the show. Last week we had Sausage Guy, and then now we got Chris, who is a polar opposite of that, Nimrod. And that's this is an example of what we want to do, and our personal interactions. And so he's done good to hook up in the group with us to find more like-minded people.
I appreciate you guys being there and leading me down the right path here.
Yeah,
well,
right.
And I also think too, I've done a little bit of exploring in the ultra modern card world when I first got back into doing this back in 2019. And I think that there's a couple things, Chris, why it's a little bit different experience for you, maybe. Vintage collectors usually tend to be a little bit older, obviously, and maybe a little more level-headed. But some of the break groups and things like that I've seen with cards are just like the Wild West too, and kind of nasty. And I stay in my lane with vintage 95% of the time. So I think that's part of the reason why maybe it's a little bit calmer for you. So what into collecting? I mean, what into collecting cards? And because it sounds like your shop, or the shop that your parents had, started in '93 and the strike was in '94, so they weren't doing cards for very long.
No.
What got you back into doing that, and kind of explain that experience and how you got back started? So
So with the comics, I learned the industry quite well. I learned to make a profit on it. Small dealer, and I collected again with the comics. It was more Silver Age, so 60s, early 70s books, and they just kept creeping up in price. Of course, the COVID boom. I mean, books that I would get for a couple $100 are now almost $1,000. And I caught myself going down that road where I'm buying $1,000, four figure books, and I don't make that kind of money. So it was kind of step back. What am I doing? Sports cards were the first thing that I collected as a kid. That was my first love. So I got into on Facebook or actually on eBay and looked at some of the 80s junk era and what the rookie cards are going for. And here I'm seeing $20-$25 for, a PSA 8 of Don Mattingly. I'm like, well, I can afford that. Let's go down that and let's try it out a little bit. A good friend of mine who was also in the comic book, we shared that interest. I talked to him and he was kind of burnt out as well. And he's like, you know what? Let's try it. It's always find it's more fun when you got a friend to do it with, share the experience. And honestly, my first PSA purchase was a Brett Hall rookie card going back to hockey. And I haven't looked back since. He's since gone off on like a garbage pail kid run, but I mean, it just price point, the people are a little bit more friendly. And I told myself when I got back into sports cards, I wasn't going to buy to sell. I got caught up in that with the comics. I was buying, flipping, and I wanted to get away from that. So sports cards are something I can buy and keep and doesn't take up as much room.
Go ahead, Mark. You got any
Yeah,
comments on that?
yeah, that's excellent. And I agree with having a friend and a buddy to do it. I know me and Greg are kind of like card partners, and it is a lot more fun than when you do by yourself. And you've heard me say probably 100 times on the show and in our page, when you take the monetary factor out of it, things are a lot better and more enjoyable. It's what it's worth to you, whether it's 25 cents, $25, $2,500. So, you have a great stance and take on that, Chris, that, you take the monetary out of it. Don't worry about the money and it's more fun. It's like anything. When it becomes a job or a business, it's not a hobby and it's not fun. And, that's the right approach to that. You got some wax, don't you, dude? You're telling me you had some wax?
I do. Yeah, I got
you
some options here for you guys.
Yeah, what you got?
Well, I just got a box of 89 Dunners and 89 Tops, so we can rip those if you want.
Oh,
pack
wow.
I'm probably most excited about would be a 87 Fleer.
Oh, look at this guy!
You're bringing out the big guns, man.
All right, yeah,
So-
we want to see. Why don't you rip a couple? Whatever you want to do, bro.
All right, let's see.
Yeah,
So this is gonna be this will be 89 Dunners.
All right, let's get a Griffey.
I've opened a few. I pulled Randy Johnson. I haven't seen a Griffey yet.
Yeah,
So
that's hard. Here we go. Come on.
Randy Bush, Ron Robinson, Rick Dempsey. This is all going.
Trash.
Oh, there's a Kurt Schilling.
Oh, Greg, that's your guy. That's Greg's card. That's a hit. Where's that meet? We need to play the one. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Now this is a nothing card, but I think this is pretty cool. The Warren Spawn puzzle.
Yeah, those puzzle cards are always cool.
Those move. People buy them for 25, 50 cents.
I will probably put that in the top loader and just put it with my stuff.
All right.
Greg, I'd be more than happy to send you Kurt Schilling.
Oh man, no, I don't need any more.
He'll take it though. If you were to put it in an envelope, he's not going to say no.
First card. New pack.
Randy Johnson. Nice. Man, we got to get him out more often. I rip for days.
Kirby. Got a Puckett.
Oh man, look at you, Chris. Somebody stacked the deck.
And Ozzie Smith will round it out.
Those 89 Donruss, man.
I love them.
I gotta quit saying man so much, but 89
That's okay.
Donruss.
That's all right. Be like Hulk. Brother, those 89 Donruss, brother, let me tell you, they're pretty sharp. They're underrated. Dude, that's too brother. I like brother.
They're just beautiful cards. They're beautiful cards. If any way you slice it, look at them and you're just like, wow. Anyway, go ahead, Chris.
No, you're good. We'll switch over to the 89 tops. I
Damn.
made Mark a promise I'd try the gum.
Oh, okay. That's good luck.
Oh,
As
yeah.
long as it's not moldy, I give it a go.
All right.
Get rid of that middle
It'll be
card.
if it has black spots on it, don't do it.
We're good. That is
Oh,
pretty nasty.
Jesus, he's doing it, Greg. I told you,
I mean,
man.
That doesn't even chew. That just
It just
crunches
sits
and
there.
goes down.
It
Yeah.
disappears.
Then it
yeah.
tastes like cardboard.
I'm gonna get sick.
All right. Let's get rid of the rest of that piece.
Ah, bravo. You went
Yeah, did you see that grimace?
farther
Yes.
than I did. I made it. He
was
made it
pretty
farther
awful.
than I did. Yeah.
That gum was almost as bad as this pack.
Go ahead and
Oh,
gather
man.
yourself for a minute.
that
Take
pack
a
was
second.
bad.
Take a second and gather yourself.
We got another one.
I've been there.
That pack was a
Well done.
dud.
Yeah, don't eat the gum. You'll never
enough.
forget it. You just had an experience you're never gonna forget.
All right.
I'll have to do that because I see people doing this, and I'm just like, how bad can it be?
It's awful.
Yeah.
Is it just it like kind of coagulates and starts to like disintegrate, and it's indescribable.
Yeah.
It's not to call it gum anymore is generous. It's more like an evil hard candy.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
So 89 tops, new pack, Craig Biggio on top.
oh, nice rookie
Oh.
card. This guy's killing the game, man.
It is.
Let's see if we got anything else in here. That is the one hit out of that pack.
All right.
So,
How did 89? How did Tops miss Griffey in 89? I don't understand it because everybody else had him. Anyway, go ahead.
good. So you want to rip this 87 Fleer? See if you
Yeah,
got,
send on
maybe a-
that. Yeah, get a bow or Well, you're
So-
going. You're going to get one. I'm telling you right now. So
So I walked in my local card shop and they got a box of just like a 3-row count shoebox and just full of unopened wax. And there was a run of these in there. They got a $3 price tag on them. I got them for $2.50. I think there was about 12 packs.
can't
So
beat that.
I walked out with every one of them.
So where do you live,
Mariners
Chris?
Cubs sticker. So I am north of Baltimore City by about 15, 20 miles.
Okay.
in
Abingdon,
between-
right? Abingdon.
Abingdon, yes. So,
See, I
Abingdon,
send you
yep.
so many cards. I know where you live. Abingdon.
And you mentioned you worked with Cal Ripken earlier.
Mhm.
He grew up in Havre de Grace, Maryland, Aberdeen, Havre de Grace, 10 minutes up the street from me. So now he's obviously older than I am, but so we're from the same county.
Oh, cool.
So 87 Fleer top card.
Nice.
Wow.
Will Clark.
Will Clark.
I'm just baffled right now.
How about that one?
Look at this.
Come on, man. This is bullshit. Well, I just said there it is. There's the first one.
Winner.
winner.
We got a subset or whatever that is.
Oh,
Gary
Chris.
Carter all-star team card in there.
Is there one of those in every pack? The 87.
There is not.
Oh, okay.
But the odds must be pretty good. I've opened probably say close to 10. I think I pulled 3 of them.
Okay.
So it's pretty good odds.
87 Flair was a great set, man. Great
Yeah,
set.
I couldn't be happier with that pack. That was
No kidding.
kind of want to stop while I'm ahead, but
Yeah, you want?
I mean,
Tell.
I got an 88 score, 89 score. I got another GP.
Oh, let's do the
You guys
garbage
want?
pail. Yeah, do the garbage pail.
All right,
We'll end on the garbage pail. We love this stuff.
there we go. All right.
Yeah. And anything you know
I'm
about
not-
those people, go ahead and let us. Because we had like Eddie Freddie or Betty Eddie or whatever.
I don't know much about these.
All
I mean,
right.
I remember buying them as a kid. It's Rutherford B. Hay.
That guy's awesome. He's a legend.
Diana.
Oh, that I don't know. Oh, that's tasteless.
Yeah.
Dying.
Walt Whitless.
Walt Whitless. Oh my God, he was an amazing writer.
Crushed Shelley. There's a shoe above the snail if you can see it.
Oh my God, that's my favorite one so far. I like that
And we'll end on Decapitated Hetty.
one. That one is actually worth a couple bucks. I do know that. That's a
I
good
don't
hit.
know.
You look it up on eBay, you'll be surprised. It's just,
Fair.
again, getting back to that segment of the Disturbed, right? Well, that was awesome. Thanks for opening those all up for us, Chris.
Absolutely.
And we had a great time with that. And I blasted out a profanity, and it was all a lot of excitement. It was great. So, but I know that Greg had some things you want. You want to talk a little bit about the Wander Franco thing, and if you want to chime in along with us, go ahead, Chris. But what you got on Wander?
Well, I mean, we all know, and anybody that follows baseball or really sports over the last week knows what's going on with Wander, and I'm not going to dive into that. The what actually happened. It's not good, and I guess my thoughts on it. I've been thinking about it a lot because I do listen to YouTube shows, and everybody's freaking out because so many people have so much money tied up in this guy from last year. Just reinforces to me the reason why I don't really do much modern. I'll buy a complete set every year in the box from Walmart or whatever. But I don't really dip my feet too much in that pool. And it kind of, things like this reinforce me. The people that I collect, their body of work is done. And, it's I don't really have a whole lot else to say about it other than I feel fortunate that I'm not, heavily invested in really anybody modern, and in that it just reinforces again to me the reason why I collect what I collect, and I buy and sell what I buy and sell. So,
All right.
I don't know if either of you have any thoughts about this whole situation. It's there's rumors he might not ever play again, which if it's true, probably is warranted. But at the same time, thank the Lord that I'm not buried in him like a lot of people are. So that's really all I have to say about it. Just that it really makes me understand and appreciate more what I do and what you guys do as well. So anybody have any thoughts on that at all? Or if not, it's cool.
No, I do. I'm not afraid to speak on it. The one thing that I've heard is you have to, cultural differences, and the Latino, Hispanic, it's a different way of life down there. Different things are accepted, and when you come to the United States, you follow the law of the land of the United States of America. So that can't be used as an excuse. Naivete can't be used as an excuse. And personally, I don't care what culture you're from. Underage is underage, and it's disgusting and despicable. So I don't really want to hear that. Oh, well, it's a different culture and they do these things in other parts of the world. Well, that's because they do it in other parts of the world. It's wrong. We're the United States of America. So I'm glad that, it steps to be taken to help hopefully prevent that from happening again in the future. And he needs to be an example. If in case it's true, then exactly. Goodbye. See you later. Sayonara. So how about you, Chris? Any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, what Greg was saying about the people that have a lot of money invested in his cards, I never even gave that a thought. I was just looking at the accusations and, his age. It's, shame on you if you actually did it. But going back to also what Greg was saying about the value of the cards, and he, collects people that have complete bodies of work. I totally agree with that. It's got more of a solid foundation. I mean, I'm a junk wax collector. I love those 80s cards, but all those guys are done. And Mark, I know you mentioned it with Canseco. That Bonds card that I just pulled out of that pack, to me, it's a Roy guy. I don't collect him. I've got a couple of his cards, but it's not somebody I go after. So, yeah, I didn't even give the monetary thought, though, of the full, implication if you're invested in him.
Well, a lot of people are, and that's really, maybe I don't listen to a lot of vintage podcasts, and maybe I should, because the vintage podcasts to me seem to be a little bit more dry, and I don't know. I think maybe I should probably start doing that because I get caught up in the hype, and I don't buy it or sell any of it, but I like to know about it. So I guess that's my thing, and I can't. What he allegedly did, I can't get on board with it. So I've got 2 Wander Franco cards that I think I'm probably gonna get rid of. So
we can burn them. We can light them up. We like to burn cards on this show. So
well, I don't know if that new glossy stuff will burn, man.
Well,
I mean,
it probably burned better than that stuff I got from the cardboard kids. That
right.
was all washed out. And oh, did I just do that? Yeah, the cardboard kids. Um, and but you made a great thought. You made a great point that made me think about, just while you were talking about Wander and that how we collect and not morality of it, but the body of work being done. We've had this discussion a bunch of times. I don't want anything that's like pre-Jackie. It does nothing for me unless it's like Ted Williams, because Teddy was like Mr. America. He was, G.I. Joe. He was John Wayne. He was the man. So he doesn't fall into that category, and I'll be blatant about it, that racism category, because Ted was the only one that stood up for African Americans and minorities to be put into the Hall of Fame. But so yeah, I understand that completely, because I don't like the Gaudis and the Leafs and the pre-war and all the stuff that Mike Monahan drones on about, and he's so slain in the spirit about it, and it does nothing for me because all the faces look like mine, and that's boring
Right.
and it sucks and it was wrong, so it does nothing for me. So I hear you loud and clear on that, Greg.
Yeah. I like what I like, and you like what you like, and Chris, you like what you like too, man. That
Mhm.
junk wax. Um, y'all tell me if you feel this sometimes when you're looking through cards from like the 80s that you collected when you were a kid. Because I mean, that's going on 35, 40 years ago now, some of this stuff. And it really kind of really closes that gap for me. I'll be thinking about, like, I'll look at a Ryan Sandberg card, and he's been retired for 20 years or 30 years now. And do y'all experience that when you're looking at these? Like, man, that's 30 years ago. That really, really seems like not 30 years ago. Have y'all ever felt that at all, or is that just me? Do you understand what I'm saying? It seems like the time gap, it closes when you're looking at these cards. And 30 years, I get to thinking about it. It's kind of an abstract thought, but I get to thinking about it. I'm like, that's really 30 years ago. So, I
It
just
is.
a thought I had when when you said that you're a junk wax guy, Chris. I am too, and Craig Biggio and Kurt Schilling's a good example. I love that stuff. And that's 34 years ago now. So it just kind of blows my mind sometimes, just a kind of a random thought. But, you know, I don't know. Chris, what do you ever feel that way when you're looking at them? Or, I mean, how can you tell us how old you are? Do you mind?
I'm 42 years old.
Okay.
Oh,
So
So
oh,
it's
he's a
probably a little
baby.
I'm just a couple years older than you guys.
Yeah.
Look at him kissing our ass. Yeah, okay.
So for me, like I bought that box of 89 tops. That was, the first packs that I can remember really ripping a lot of as a kid. So every one of those I open is nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what, 34 years ago. Um, so I never, but when you see, Ryan Sandberg's been retired for how long now? I never even gave that a thought. Um, but I'm also more of an American League because we got the Orioles here, and it's an American League team growing up. I didn't follow much of the National League.
Yeah.
So for me, like, it's like Cal Ripken. It's like he's been gone from the team for how many years now?
Over
I
20.
see it, yeah, and I see a picture. I'm like, man, he's getting old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I met him there and working for him, it just father times been tough on Cal. He struggles to walk up the stairs, and he took a beating. It was almost like when I'm was hanging out with Jim Kelly back in the day after he quit playing, and I was like, good Lord, this guy, he gave his life for that game. Maybe he doesn't realize it, but yeah, Cal definitely. So that puts it in perspective. You look at a player like that, and he's kind of hobbling around a little bit, and it's like, wow, maybe you should have took a
Yeah,
day
and
off.
to expand on him, we got morning sports talk radio that I listen to on my way into work every day, and one of their guests is Ryan Ripken, his son. And you're looking at retired player from my playing days, and now his kid is on the radio doing sports talking as a guest.
Yeah. That is crazy. It really flies. At time just flies. And, you know, it's interesting that you say that, because Cal has been gone for now probably right at 20 years and gone from the team. And just it really flies. So that was my whole point in saying that, is just how time flies, and how these cards can instantly bring me back. And I'm sure it's that way for a lot of people, just bring me back instantly to that time frame in my life. And I think that's one of the main things I like about it. It's just, I'm 53 now, and it's gone by fast, and this is um, kind of brought me back to my youth a little bit. So I'm very thankful for that with this hobby, with everybody that shares a like-minded philosophy about it. So, Mark, do you want to get into what we were going to talk about, man?
What was that? I forgot.
The little bug we had.
Oh yeah, real briefly. So I was having so much fun with Chris. All that anger
Fair enough.
left me. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
I'm in a good
We can keep
spot.
that going
So
too. We
you
can keep
know,
that going too, man.
yeah, man. We'll save it for another day. I don't want
Yeah,
to.
this
We're
has
having a
been
good
great.
time. Yeah, that's why I was like, what? Say what? So there's a great example. I mean, thank you, Chris, because I was feeling a little grumpy and. Had a little rough start here before we hit record, and now I'm feeling it. I'm in a good spot, so I'm good.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Good
that's what
times.
it's all about. Yeah. So I mean, I got just a few shout outs. We can bring it down. They say we try to keep it 35, 40 minutes, but I'll do a few shout outs. Definitely thank you, Chris, for coming on.
I appreciate you guys having me.
I appreciate you again. I know, full disclosure, Chris gets a lot of cards from me. It has nothing to do with it. I love him. He's awesome. Really appreciate the friendship and the bond that we share. And kind of he's in the inner circle, but I really thankful for that, Chris. It's been a good start to the school year for me. So thanks to my kids and my staff there. UDFC, we're back, baby. Find us on social media, UDFC Women, UDFC Soccer. And then something really funny. I want to shout this out because this is amazing. It's just Viviscal stuff. Dudes, if you're starting to get, a little light up there, you want to look like a rock star and be thick as hell, this is Viviscal. Oh, I'm really happy, So I'm not rocking my hat, I mean, I'm probably not as hair challenged as it looks. I have really light hair. I mean, there's actually a pretty good crop up there, but Viviscal, I love it. And then last but not least, shout out to Squincher, our friends at Squincher, Mike Dalton. Squincher's been with us since 2018. Remarkable that in today's day and age that a company out of Columbus, Mississippi is supporting a women's soccer team in Polk County, Florida. And they've been with us since day one. And we do, if you look around, have the only angular logo in soccer. That is nice. By design, because that is a Squincher. So if you ever bump around, look at some soccer teams and look at their logos, they're square, they're flat, we're angular. so that's what I got on that.
Chris, you have anybody you want to give any mention to this week?
I just want to thank you guys for giving me the chance to come on here. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I didn't really prepare any shout outs.
That's okay. That's okay.
Shout yourself out. Pat yourself on the back. You're pulling some great cards.
No, yeah. I'm too modest for that.
So it's all about me, man. It's all about friends.
I'm gonna give that shop I bought the 87 Fleer. I appreciate them not searching their packs, and obviously not. So
yeah, say those were loaded packs. Those were loaded.
Where was that shop located at, Chris?
It's in Bel Air, just down probably 15 minutes from me. We only have 2 card shops in our county.
We have none.
Okay.
What's the name of the place?
It's Bel Air Sports Cards.
Bel Air Sports Cards. So yeah, everybody support Bel Air Sports Cards up there in Maryland, and you'll get yourself some really good 80s junk wax.
Absolutely. I've already said my shout outs for the week, Jay Jaworski and then Breck Allman. So I appreciate you guys. Mark, as always, man. I know we haven't been talking as much. You've got a lot going on.
Oh, I'm swamped. I'm busy.
Yeah, and I understand that. I've got a lot more free time than I think you do right now. So I appreciate you sticking with it and riding along on the weekends sometimes if we see a good sale. And
absolutely.
Chris, I think you sent me some packs a few weeks ago, Chris. So I wanted to give you a shout out too, and I totally forgot about them. And I've got them sitting in a box, so I'm going to rip them. I should have ripped them today, and I didn't even think about it until about 4 minutes ago. So I wanted to thank you for those.
Oh, you're
And
very
I think-
welcome.
I think a couple of them have some gum, so I'll save that for the next show, and then we'll go through that. So
Yeah, I
I
think there's a
appreciate
90 hockey in there.
That's
got
right, there
some-
is.
that-
and that's my fault for not mentioning it already, Chris. I'm
You're
sorry.
good.
I really appreciated those, and I'm excited to open them up. And I will
Excellent.
I'll do that the next time we have you on, man. It's been a great show, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing some thoughts and opening your cards and telling us about the card shop. So thank you very much for being on the show, sir.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Fun.
All right, well, Mark, we'll let you sign us off, and then we'll go on about our day.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Again, thank you for joining us. And one more last shout out, John Jabs, the Past is Alive podcast and Facebook page. He allowed us to put our link on his show page. Who does that, right? One of the Giants. He's one of my heroes. I love John Jabs. I love the Past is Alive. People, go check out the Past is Alive. John Jabs. He's not like his brother. He's cool. And, thank you, everybody, and have a great weekend and a great rest of your week.
Bye, everybody.
All right.